Quaid Azam, Part 197. While Nehru wrote to N.A. Sherwani, chiding him for his request for Maulvis for his election campaign, this disapproval did not extend to making Sherwani actually give up all such assistance of the ulema. The Congress also should not have felt the need to use Maulana Azad to win Jamiatul Ulema-e-Hind to its side. For after all, what did Maulvis have to do with an approach that based itself upon socio-economic solidarity? Unimpeachable secular credentials and radical programs, as according to Nehru, for example in Spain or elsewhere in Europe. Another argument against an alliance was that to form a coalition government with the League would be to accept that the Congress did not represent the Muslims. However, then it had already demonstrated this very deficiency by first making that open initial statement of contesting a mere 9 seats in the Muslim constituencies of UP, and shockingly for a secular body, none at all in Bengal. The Congress had recruited Muslims, but even in that age of mass politics, always through the aid of allied Muslim organizations. During the non-cooperation movement and the early 1920s, that aid had been Khilafatist. Gandhi had surmised that supporting them was a shortcut to Muslim support, that it failed as a separate issue. During the civil disobedience, in the absence of a strong Muslim ally, Muslim participation dropped sharply. Through the 1930s and 1940s, the Congress relied not so much on Muslim congressmen as upon Muslim organizations independent of it, such as Jamiat al-Ulama-e-Hind, the Ahrars, the Muslim Unity Board, the Momin Conference, and so on. Similarly, in 1937, the Muslim League, in informal alliance with the Congress, had won 29 seats in UP. Extending this alliance into a coalition government would have been in keeping with past practice, the only difference being that the context now was both legislative institutions and the political executive, not anymore just agitational politics. Why then did the Congress not come to terms with the League? The immediate reason for the repudiation of the electoral alliance was obviously the heady arithmetics of the elected numbers, the Congress having obtained legislative majority. This electoral alliance had been undertaken when the Congress was unsure of such an outcome and therefore needed an ally to make up the numbers should it not reach them, irrespective of whether it decided to wreck the Constitution from inside after or working. Once it had achieved the majority on its own, it then saw no need to make any concessions to electoral allies. Numerically smaller, therefore now redundant, this was unalloyed majoritarianism, arguable somewhat perhaps in theory, disastrous in consequences. Where then does an intelligible, rational explanation of the Congress stand lie? Part of it is to be found in the political ideology of the Congress, that of their self-adopted style called secularism and majoritarian democracy. This platform of the assumed secularism by the Congress was part of its basis towards the claims to be a national party. Secularism debate. Debate on the term of secularism was and is in reality a byproduct of European social political history, getting transferred directly to India as a colonial discourse, which is why its practical applicability in Indian context became adversarial from the very beginning.